Hello dear viewers, welcome to another Odoo 19 tutorial by Cybrosys. Today in this video, we'll be talking about the Timeoff module in Odoo 19. You all know Timeoff is part of the HR modules, and for every organization, how important attendance is, Timeoff is that much important. So it's important to configure different types of time offs like the maternity leaves, the sick time off, the paid time off and all such things. So today I'll be taking you to the time off module and show you what all features are hidden inside it. So without wasting any time, let's move on to the video. So guys, now let's move on to the time off module and see how it works. So here I'm opening the time off. This is the time off module. And you can see a lot of menus are present in the time off. The very first thing is my time, under which you have the dashboard, my time off and my allocation. So this my time off, my allocation and all means the person who is logged in. If I am logged in, then I can see my time off as well as my allocation and the dashboard. So that is this particular my time. And in the overview, this is what you have, which shows you all the time off. Then you have a management, reporting and configuration. So let's go in that particular order itself. The very first thing is my time, inside which you are going to open the dashboard. So this is the dashboard. Once you open the my time off module also, you will be seeing this particular dashboard in which you have like a calendar kind of view. You all know this is time off, where dates and time was really important. Okay. On the right side of the screen, you can see time off types, where you have the compensatory days, sick time off and different colors as well. So these colors is what it denotes in the calendar. So if there is a compensatory day, this color, that's a blue color I guess. So this blue color will be depicted on the calendar. And if it's a sick time off, then it will be showing you a yellow color. So I'll simply, like, you can just take a look at the calendar on November, or I'm changing this to month. Okay, so this is month. Now here you can see doctor appointment for 3 days, which is shown in yellow color. So obviously it is sick days, right? Because it it's already showing you the color. And then you have the compensatory days, which is in blue color. So here you have another thing, which is the legend, where solid colors is shown as validated. The stripe is shown as the ones are to be approved. And this kind of, that symbol represents to the refused ones. So here you have a striped one, which is the one that is to be approved. Okay, so this is the trip with family. Now, if you click on that, you have the option, or a wizard will appear, where it shows the employee, the time of type, whether it's compensatory days or whatever it is, the date can be seen, the description is given, and you have the option to attach a file, save it, validate it, and refuse it. So if you want to delete the time off, you can do that as well. So simply save it, or if you click on validate, you can easily validate it. Now this is possible because you have logged in as the administrator. So if you have logged in as a normal user, means you don't have you will not be having the right to approve it. So that's how it works. Now you can see the stripe has disappeared. Now you have the option to add time off just by clicking on any of the date. So if I need a time off on 28th of Friday, simply click on the cell, which will open a wizard. So that opens a time off request where you can enter the time off type. So by default, the employee will be taken as the logged in person. Then you have the time off type. So you have a lot of types such as the paid time off, sick time off, unpaid, compensatory and extra hours. And to see more, simply click on this, which will take you to the time off type page. So I'm removing this, and so this is the paid time off I'm creating. It can be anything. I'll simply choose the paid time off. And you can choose the dates, whether it's from which date to which date you are planning the time off request. That can be planned over here. And based on the date, it will calculate the number of days. So if I change this to 29 or any other date, okay, the number of days will be calculated based on that. Okay, so this has opened the dashboard. I'm simply going back and again creating one. So this is how simply you can create a time off request, simply by adding a paid time off, the date, that is from to which date. It can be a single day, multiple days or whatever it is. The only thing is that you have to specify the number of days, and then you can simply submit the request. So this will mark a time off that is given there, and you can say it's striped, which means it has to be approved by the admin. So that's how simply you can create a new time off from the dashboard itself. And in the dashboard, if you take a look, you can see it will be showing you the paid time off, the compensatory days, as well as the pending request that you have. That is for the logged in user. So here you have 19 days which are available, which is valid until a particular date. Similarly, you have the compensatory days, which is 16 days available, which is valid until this particular date. And then you have the pending request, which is a new allocation request. Okay, so that's it. And you have different views like based on a day, week, month or year. If you want to show the weekends, that is also possible there. Then you can put it to today's date. That was possible, and then you can go to the previous as well as the next data. And this dashboard has three different views. One is the calendar view. Then you have the list view, which will be showing you the status of the different time offs. So like the ones that are approved will be shown as approved. The ones that are to be approved will be shown as to approve. And also if you are logged in as the admin, it has such a thing which calls approve and also refuse. Obviously, when you can approve it, then there'll be a option or there'll be an option for you to refuse it. So that's it. From here also, you can simply add a time off by clicking on new, where you can give off all the details and then create a new one. So I'm not showing that because we've already seen it. And if I open one, you can see the status, it's in to approve. You can put it to second approval or even approved state. So that's how it works. Now let's go back to the dashboard, and this icon shows you the activities. Okay, there'll be some certain activities corresponding to the time off. Like if you want to schedule a call, a meeting, an email, a to-do, document, signature, whatever it is. So you all know the three different colors which represents to the status of the different activities. Yellow denotes to the one that are to be done today, green the ones that are to be done in the future, and red denotes to the one that are expired. Okay, so it's simple to schedule an activity. Simply go on, click on the cell and then create an activity very easily. So that's it. I hope you all know how to create that. So that is the dashboard. Now, if you go to my time off, this will only be showing your time off. It won't like intrude you with other people's time off requests. It will only be showing your time off and the status. So that's a simple way to see filter your data. That's it. Then you have your allocations. So if you click on this, your time off allocations can be seen here, and it will be showing you the allocation type as well. So to create a new allocation, it's simple. Click on new. Okay. So you have the time off type over here. You can change it to whatever it is. Now, each time off type will be showing you the number of days that are remaining in your account. So if you take a look at this, the paid time off, 19 is remaining out of 20. Okay. So you have so much paid time off. Similarly, you have the compensatory days, the extra time off, the parental leaves, the training time off, and all such things. So right now, if you take a look, you have the paid time off as well as the compensatory days. So out of which you can choose wisely because you have plenty of days remaining. Okay. So I'll put it to paid time off itself, and it will be showing you the number of days that are remaining. And you have the validity period. So the allocation validity period can be set over here. So I'm setting it to 30th. Okay. So the allocation days can also be given over here. I'm giving it to 10 days. See, 10 days. And then you can add a reason. So I'm just giving it as not well or something. Any reason, any valid reason. So this is just a demo data. I'm saving it. Now this is a new allocation which is in to approve state for 10 days. Okay. So that's how it works. That's your allocation, and that's how you create your allocation. Now let's move on to the overview. So this is the time off overview, which will be showing you the time off of all the people of your organization. So its name itself says all time off. So this has two different users, Mark Demo and Michelle Edmin. So you can see the sick leave and all such things. So this is on month. I'm changing it to week. So this will be giving you a deeper vision of the thing. Or if you put it back to the year, this is how the year looks like. So on November, how many people have, created the time off. For Mark Demo, how much he have created. For Michelle Admin, how much he have created, and all is shown very clearly. And you can see approved ones or the ones are waiting for approval is what is displayed here. So it is filtered based on employee, my team, approved or waiting for approval. So that's the default filter. Now this is the Gantt view. You can put it to the calendar view. This is how the calendar view looks like. Okay, so you all already know the calendar view. And the important thing is that in the calendar view on the right side, you will get the filters or the data. Like just by referring to it, you'll get to know what is shown in the calendar. So you all know employee mark their most data as in yellow color, and Michelle Edmond has kind of a peach color. And then you have the validated to approved and refused ones. Okay, so this is to be validated, to approved. Then you have the mandatory days. So mandatory days are the ones on which you cannot take a leave. Okay, you should be there. So the mandatory leave is given there. Company celebration on 27th, even if you click on the cell, I'm clicking in, but nothing is getting opened. But if you go to the other cells and click, what happens is that you can actually create one. So on the mandatory days, you cannot create a time off. That's how it works. So that's the overview. So here you have the management, under which you have time off as well as allocation. So for the management, I'm going to the time off. Now this is the time off dashboard. Okay, so currently we don't have any data to display. This is waiting for me. If I click on this, the ones that have been waiting for me to get approved, that's the ones. So here you have one called, Michelle Edmonds itself paid time off, where you have the option to refuse it as well as approve it. Now let me show you how it looks like to refuse it. So I'm refusing it. So as you can see, it will be labeled as refused, but it's also possible to approve it. Now simply click on approve and this is getting approved. Again, you can refuse it. So however you wish, you can mark it over there. And then you have different views for it, which is the list view, the calendar view, the activities, and the Gantt view. So those much options are available here under the all time off. So if you want to create a new group time off, so you can click on that and you can choose the time off type. Okay, you can choose the employees. So bulk, as a bulk also, you can create multiple requests. Okay, simultaneously for multiple people, time off can be created. So you can choose the employees for whom you are creating it. So I'll choose 3 employees. I've already chosen that person. So I'm choosing another person. Then you can choose the date and generate the time off. So I'm choosing the date to this itself and then generating the time off. So now a time off is created. Automatically it got approved because I am creating from the management side. Okay, so that's the time off, and from here allocations can also be easily managed. So these are all the ones that are to be validated. So simply you can click on refuse or validate, and even you can create new group allocation. So you are already approving and creating one. That is the difference. Okay. So from here, if you create a new allocation for a single person, it can be a regular allocation or an actual allocation, and the number of allocation days can be chosen from here. You can add a reason. Okay. So I'm just choosing the same date, and let's try to save it. So this is in approved state right now. I can simply validate it and approve it. So that's how you do it, and it can be done as a group also. So this is where you do all those things. Now this can be seen in the list view, as well as activities corresponding to it can be seen here. So like each allocation will be having different activities. So if you have scheduled activities corresponding to each of these allocation, that will be displayed here under the activity section. Okay. So that's the management. Then you have the reporting. So under the reporting, you have by employee, by type, and by balance. So by employee, if you choose, you can see the reporting based on the employees, and by default, it has a pivot view. So you can see the different employees, the time off, the duration for different months. Okay. So sick time off of Eka, Anita Oliver has 2 different paid time off and sick time off, how much is taken on particular month, which is November, the duration for Michelle Edmond, and all employees. So multiple measures can be added. I'm adding the duration, which is hours as well. Okay, and if I want the count, I'm taking the count of each one over here. Okay, now I'm switching it to the list view. So where you get, a closed view of all of these employees, and there are different types of time offs. So for Anita Oliver, you can see paid time off. 2 paid time offs are there on 2 different dates. Whether it's approved or not can be seen here. Like time off based on employees comes under this reporting sections, where you can easily filter it. Okay. So if you want to get the data of any particular employee, it's really simple in Odoo, simply by going to the time off by employee, you can easily filter it. Okay. Similarly, you have the graph view. So this is the graph view of the employees. So you can see the employees are labeled here, and you can see the data, whether it's paid time off, sick time off and all. Okay. So for Anita, you can see there are 8 paid time off and 1 sick time off. So likewise, it changes. One person has compensatory days for 3 days and so on. So there are 3 different graphs, which is line and pie chart. You can change the measure to count or even hours. Now it was in days, you can change it to hours. So this is how beautiful the pie chart of this particular time off by employee looks like. And finally, you have the calendar view for the very same thing, which will be showing you data based on the employees. Okay, so here you can see the different employees, and those employees data is given here on the calendar view of the reporting of time off by employee. Now, time off by type is what you have next in the reporting. So you have sick time off, paid time off, compensatory leaves, parental leaves, training time off and all such things. So it is shown in 3 different colors, where blue denotes the allocation, this is the time off, and this is the balance. So you can change the measure from here to hours or even count. Now, this has a default filter, which is to approve or approved request, and also you have the type. So you can put it to list view, and then you can put it to the pivot view as well. So that is the time off by type. And finally, in the reporting, you have balance. So this will be showing you the balance number of days that you have for each of the employee. How many number of days are there, like how many is left, how many is taken for paid time off, sick time off and compensatory leaves. Now this is very easy to identify or take. I mean, if you want to get the data of the count of the different time of types for each of the employee, it's really simple. So this reporting is solely based on the type and the balance. So this balance will be showing you the balance of how many days are there. This is solely based on employees, and this as that of the type. Now, if you go to the configuration, you have the option to configure the time off types. You have different time off types such as paid time off, sick time off and all. Now, you've seen a lot of areas where you have to use this time off type. So, those can be used only when you create and configure it here in the time off type. So, once you create a time off type over here, this can be used while you create a time off, or even in the filtering process and all, it will be filtered based on the type that you have created. So, creation of a type is really simple. Click on new. You can specify the time of type over here, the duration, whether it's half day, hours or a single day, so that it will be counted based on that. So, if I'm taking 2 days for this, it will be taking in 2 days or 2 half days or 2 hours. Based on that, it will go. And whether it should be count as an absence or a worked time, that can be chosen here. To notify the HR, you can choose this. Okay, so to which HR this has to be notified, that person can be chosen from here. The company, the country, the time of requests, how many approvals. So from whom should you take the approval? By time of officer, by employee's approver, or both, or none needed. That can be chosen here. The allocation request details has the request allocation, allow employee request and approval, like whether approval is required for this allocation. And then you have the negative cap as well as the configuration. So a lot of things are there in the time off type configuration. Like you can't go such just name one and create one. You have a lot of details that are to be specified in the time off type. Then what? Then you have the actual plans. So you have a plan already here, which is the seniority plan. So you have the configuration when the time was accrued. Is it based on work time and all such things. Similarly, if you want to create a new accrual plan, it's really simple. Click on new. Okay, so I'll go back to the actual plan and open the seniority plan, where you can see the milestones also which are set over here. So from here, you can actually add milestones towards the plan, and these milestones will be showing what all are achieved. You can see the first frequency is 1 day every year of, on the 1st of January. Unused days will be transferred totally on each start of the year. Likewise, you can there'll be transferring and all of the dates. Like if last year I had certain leaves I didn't use, so to transfer it to the 1st of January of next year, that's what is given over here. So such rules can be given here as milestones. That's the accrual plan. Then you have the public holidays. So there are certain public holidays that we have, like public time off. Now if Christmas and all are public holidays, right? So if you want to create a new one, I'm creating one over here, Christmas. The date I'm giving here as 25th, apply, and the end date I'm giving it 25th itself, applying it. So this is how it works. Okay, this is how it works. The start date of the time off must be earlier. Yeah, so the time that I've given here is a little bit earlier. So here I'm changing this 4:30 to 12 a.m. and this to let it be 12 p.m. Okay, I'm clicking on apply. So that's how you do it. And then the working hours, you can specify it over here, standard working hours, 40 hours per week. So that's how you configure new public holidays. Then you have the mandatory days. So what is this mandatory days? If you open this, you can see company celebration is given on the start and end date, like November 27th. So on that day, nobody can apply for a time off. So that's the mandatory day. Now, if you want to create a new one, click on new and create a one where you have to specify the end and start date properly. So this is the dashboard. As you can see, this is one among the mandatory days. So if you go to next month, you can see the next month over here. You can see the previous month over here. That's how it works. Okay. So this is basically what the time off module of Odoo looks like. This is not it. There are so much operations that you can do over this module. The basic thing is to configure the time off. Okay. So that's it. We'll be back with more detailed videos. So that's all for today's video. I hope that was clear for you guys. Thank you so much for watching and see you guys in the next video.